CBD oil seems to be everywhere.
CBD is everywhere. Bodegas, coffee shops, grocery stores.
What exactly is CBD oil?
According to BDS Analytics and ArcView Market Research, the CBD industry could reach up to $20 billion by the year 2024. However, with so many people getting into the industry now, there are a lot of bad players in the space that might stunt the growth of the industry. So what are these growing pains of the CBD industry? And how can the industry hopefully outgrow them so it can blossom into a whole new enterprise? CBD oil is an extract of the cannabis plant that can be found in many different kinds of products such as chocolates, gummies, oils, and even vape oil. CBD is actually very well known for its healing properties. The FDA just recently approved a new pharmaceutical drug called Epidiolex, which is an oral solution for the treatment of seizures associated with two rare and severe forms of epilepsy. However, still with the rise of the CBD industry, it seems like a lot of people are still getting great results from other CBD products that are not Epidiolex.
I definitely feel calmer and more relaxed.
I do feel relaxed. I did have a headache all day today. The headache's gone.
CBD just gets right into the muscles and just relaxes all the inflammation. And the best part about it is it's 100% natural and no side effects. Yeah. There's nothing.
Right. Even though there are thousands upon thousands of people all around the world who love and swear by CBD oil, there is a huge gray area around it.
So I decided to come out to Grand Rapids, Michigan, where I can meet with a lot of CBD oil companies and get their take on the growing pains of the industry. The first stop on my trip was the Grassy Knoll, where I was able to talk to the owner, Janet Tombre, about what her take on the CBD oil industry is and how it can get back on track to be a $20 billion industry.
When we first got started, hardly anybody knew what CBD was. So we'd spend most of our time educating people on how is it extracted, what plants it comes from, what it can do for people. In the last 6 to 9 months, I've really noticed that people are educating themselves first and then coming into the store and asking really good questions. So I do see people becoming more aware of CBD because I think it's been in the news a lot, in the legislature. So people are really curious on what CBD does and how it can help them. Another area that I've seen that has changed drastically in the CBD industry is really finding quality products. The good quality CBD companies kind of regulate themselves and really do take pride in third-party testing, making sure everybody knows that they do third-party testing, that the third-party testing is accurate. So all the products we have here, we've got a big binder in the back with all our testing, and we really do take pride in the fact that we don't even get samples unless we get those tests. So probably one of the biggest changes or the biggest headaches that we've had has been with the banking industry. So we've been dropped by 4 credit card processors. We had to have the expense of buying an ATM because we had to be cash only, and the only place for people to get cash would be in our store. The banking is probably one of the most difficult things to deal with. And that goes with our e-commerce store. It's just CBD's legal. Why? That's our biggest question.
After visiting Grassy Knoll, I decided to move on to another CBD company that actually makes their own CBD products called By Hemp. And they even invited me to come out and get a tour of their facility.
With a lack of regulation on CBD and CBD products, people have free range to be able to put whatever they want to into a bottle and say that it's a CBD product, put it on the market, and sell it at a lower price point. Our way of getting around that is by having all of our products and all of our raw materials third-party lab tested to make sure that we can prove that it actually has what we claim to have in it. One of the important things that we wind up getting out of a testing perspective would be a COA, which is otherwise known as Certificate of Analysis. What that does is it gives us an opportunity to see the active cannabinoids that are found within a product, whether that is the raw material in itself or what that raw material is going into at the end, otherwise as a finished product. While we're obviously cognizant of the CBD content that is in it, there are other active cannabinoids that we'd like to know about as well. THC is obviously another factor there. As long as all of our products wind up coming out at 0.3% THC or less, that is what we consider to be compliant to have it put on a shelf. We encourage everybody to look into stores, whether it is ours or somebody else's, and see if they have testing that can back up all the products that they have on their shelves to make sure it has the CBD content that they claim it to have.
The issue with other companies selling fake products doesn't seem to be the only problem facing legitimate CBD oil companies. I made sure to sit down with the marketing manager of Made by Hemp, Brady Madden, who told me about how the gray area around CBD makes it very hard to market it, even if it isn't on social media.
One of the biggest issues that we face is that a lot of the major players today, like for instance, I know at the current date, I think it's right around 80% of every dollar in marketing spent is going to either Google or Facebook. And Google doesn't allow us to advertise, and neither does Facebook. And so that leaves us maybe some other platforms where, like such as YouTube, where we can maybe do some informational videos and other things like that. The trouble with that, YouTube doesn't allow us to make certain informational videos. We have to be highly strategic with the content that we're creating. The biggest players in the space, although I understand why they're not allowing it, you know, there's a lot of FDA rules and guidelines and things that just aren't dialed in yet. And so because of that, they're all, you know, playing it safe and kind of keeping away from the space. But it's just frustrating because we're talking about a legal product here and something that can really benefit people, and we're just trying to educate people about it. A year ago, around Black Friday, I was in Las Vegas for a trade show, and we had been with our email service provider, MailChimp, for a number of years. And they decided the week before Black Friday that they were going to just completely shut us down. And so we had to go through multiple other email service providers outside of MailChimp. We had to go through 3 other ones who allowed us to set our account up and then get shut down until we found one that would allow a CBD company to send emails. So one of the things that's been really big for us as it comes to marketing is just basically education around CBD products and how to incorporate them into the day-to-day lifestyle. And so with that education, we've been invited on some podcasts, some local news stations, some local radio stations to be able to share that information about what to look for in a CBD product, what not to look for, and how to spot some of the bad ones.
Having learned all of this, I made my way to meet Jeff Gallagher. Having started Made by Hemp all by himself 6 years ago, I knew that he would be able to give me a lot of insight into the inner workings of the CBD industry.
I found CBD in 2012, personally. Nobody knew anything. One of the biggest things that we do is we help educate people on what CBD is and what CBD isn't. Because in the wild, wild west of CBD, and that's what I'll coin it, everybody and their brother's got a new product, new widget, new, better, greater thing. And not all of them are good people. So that was the challenge at first. I wanted to do the right thing, follow the rules. Well, when there was no rules, but there was a court saying that it was legal. So the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration's job is to provide safety information. So when a drug goes to trial and all these expensive amounts of money are spent to go through these safety protocols, that's why they are allowed to approve a drug. They've never approved any food. The problem is it's so muddied with its cousin marijuana and the THC side of it, because you can get a euphoric or psychotropic effect off of THC, that it's all lumped under this gray cloud of it's bad for you. And in reality, people should be thinking of this as any supplement. I mean, it's no different than you going and getting a multivitamin. So as a new consumer looking for CBD for their own personal journey, I highly recommend that they ask a few simple questions before they purchase. 1, how long have you been in the CBD space? 2, do you know your sources personally, the farmers? If they answer no to the second question and the first question's less than a year, I would probably stay away. Only because they're just getting into it, right? Not saying that they got a bad product, but they're just new. Once you've gotten past those questions, then you ask for COAs. And if they don't have knowledge and the responsiveness that you think, stay away. There's something wrong. Red flag.
At this point, the future of the CBD industry lies solely on the FDA and their ability to implement regulations to stop the fake companies from ruining it for everyone else. Hopefully, from this video, you can see that the regulations would really, really help the CBD industry, and we really just hope that the FDA makes the right choices here. Until then, there will always be an issue where people could be potentially buying fake CBD products.